often have you noticed that something has happened or not happened the way you imagined it would or should, and you find yourself in resentment? Maybe resentment towards another person, resentment towards a situation or an organization. And what happens with that resentment? How do you notice it impacts your energy, your willingness to be resilient or to go again? I'd like to invite you to consider this possibility that we call getting off it. What time is it? It's time to get off it. Now, what does it mean to get off of something? Well, first of all, noticing what you're on in the sense of, I'm plugged into this. This is feeding negative or counterproductive energy in my life. The more I think about it, the more I ruminate on it, the more I remember it, the more negative energy it produces in my mind, in my body, in my spirit. And there's a process where you can just decide to name it. Number one, what is it? What am I stuck on, and why am I stuck on this particular thing? Something that should or shouldn't have happened, did or didn't. And what is happening to me as a result of continuing to recycle this frustration or resentment long after the event has happened? And getting off it allows me to name it and to decide I'm going to move myself off of it, almost like a physical movement. Like, here's the thing, and I'm moving myself off of it. I'm choosing not to be stuck on it anymore, or to allow it to influence my perspective, my energy, my mood. And sometimes that's just a decision that you can make, and you might need to keep making it a few times to practice it. Sometimes that involves a direct conversation with another person by way of confession, saying, hey, I've been stuck on this, and I know it doesn't really have anything to do with you. I'm confessing that I've been stuck on it, and I would like to release it. I'm letting you know I am getting off it. I'm moving off of it, and I'm not gonna hold it against you anymore. I'm not gonna let it come between us anymore. And then just to listen and to find out, what did they notice? Were they aware of it? Were they not aware? Did they know something was off, but maybe they had imagined it was something different or made it worse? It's a way to connect and reconnect in a relationship by that honest confession. And it also can allow you to get off it and move on to what the future might look like. Move on to something new, a new way to use your energy. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I had seen that a friend of mine was coming into town from overseas. And I thought to myself, oh wow, that's weird. They didn't reach out to me and let me know. I would have liked to have seen them. And I started imagining all of these reasons why this person didn't just let me know directly. If you're like me, you probably make up worst case scenarios. I certainly make up worst case scenarios. Like, I've offended them, they don't like me, we were never really friends. I just imagined that. I just thought we were friends, but they haven't been honest with me. I went all kinds of places in my brain for a couple of days. And I noticed it was a sticking point. I kept going back to it, like a rumination in my own mind. And finally I thought, I'm just gonna stop it, and I'm gonna get off it by reaching out and saying, hey, I saw this. This is what I completely made up. I just wanna confess it to you, and I would love to see you when you come in town. It was great because their response was not what I thought it was. They responded back, thanked me for reaching out. They had said, oh, I had made the assumption that because we were mutual friends with this third friend, that you were, in a sense, tolerating me because I came as a package deal with this other friend. And I didn't realize that our relationship was really that important to you. And I would absolutely love to see you and re-up, and let's create something, let's go again. And I didn't realize that was their conversation, and they didn't realize that was my conversation. So in that instance, the ability to speak it out and get off of it, physically release it, was super helpful. Now, you don't always have to have the direct conversation, and honestly, sometimes people aren't in your life and there's a really good reason, health reason, functional reason, or sometimes people have passed on and you're still holding on to something. There's a frustration or an energy suck or a rumination, and you can choose to release that resentment or anger or bitterness or frustration for your own health, for you to move forward to see what else is available. You can do that through journaling, writing, putting it down, burning it, make your own ritual. But the process itself is really for your energetic release of an area that you notice. You keep returning to, you keep recycling and returning to. As the expression goes, resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. If you want to prolong pain and suffering in your life, hold on to resentment. I can guarantee you that is one thing that will continue the pain cycle over and over, and maybe even worse than it would have been without it. Because the rumination, the overthinking, the imagination that often we apply to our frustrations, bitterness, and resentments tend to make things worse. We tend to exaggerate in the direction of our hurt and our pain. Imagine what type of energy could be released in your life if you were able and willing to release all of the resentments that tie up that precious, beautiful energy that you have to create, to innovate, to navigate, to give to this world. If this resonates with you, you can check out my other video called Stop Adding Extra Pain to Your Life for more resource. If this video was resourceful for you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends, make a note in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.